What is up, guys? Annie here, Guild Forever, going to be doing a brief little review for Kamen Rider Den-O, episodes 34, 35, and 36. I am not gonna lie to you. The highlight of these three episodes had to be the last one with episode 36. Liner form. Really? It felt like it hasn't even been that long since we've seen the climax form. And now he's already in a liner form? But the thing that I enjoy about this form more than anything is that Ryotaro is able to access the power of, all his imagines, but at the same time is his consciousness though. It's him fighting. It's not like before when he's always possessed and they pretty much do the fighting for him. Well, he's basically the host, like it's his body, but the imagines are the ones fighting for him. But this time, it's Ryotaro that's the one that's harnessing the power of the imagines and fighting. It's like this. It's kind of like before Ryotaro was the car and the imagines were the drivers. That's how it was. But this time, it's the reverse. They are the car, and he's the one driving. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I am happy this happened. I always wanted Ryotaro to finally fight on his own. But at the same time, while this is epic, and I love seeing it, trust me guys, I love seeing this. There's something going on. There may come a point where the Imagines and Ryotaro might have to separate from each other. But I've noticed they're keeping this on the low profile. They're not telling him. They're keeping it in secret. They're probably doing that to protect him because they don't want to hurt him. Or maybe they're just accepting it. Like, hey man, we've been possessing his body for so long. And he's never really complained. He's never giving us problems. If anything, he has done enough for us. I think it's about time we just say our goodbyes. Like, it is what it is. Instead of complaining about it, instead of trying to do something to solve this issue, why not let's just help him at least be able to fight now that we can no longer fight for him. It really shows a lot of character depth and growth. Before, guys, if this were to happen like early on in Den-O, they'd be struggling tooth and nail. They'd be going through the craziest schemes ever just to make sure they find a way to keep their host. But this time, they're accepting of it. They're okay with it. They're fine as long as they're able to at least give him power for him to fight on his own. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that really speaks for the characters. They've really come a long way. Momotaros, Urataros, Kintaros, Ryotaro, even Ryotaros. Ryotaros was rooting for him in this episode. That shows the dancing dragon has actually grown a bit, despite the fact he still acts like a brat. But he's shown a lot of growth and promise. They're accepting of the fact that they're going to be separated from him soon. But they don't want to leave him defenseless. They realize that he wants to fight. He wants to become strong. He doesn't want to allow himself to be in a helpless situation. He wants to do his part. That's what it is. And it turned out, it's the fact that it was the first time that he allowed an Imagine to get away. He allowed it, even though the Imagine was you can say taken down, ever since he let that pianoist player pretty much fade out of existence, well, at least fade out of the world, his existence isn't entirely gone. He's just roaming until eventually, the kid that played with him ends up remembering him, bringing his existence back. That's what's gonna happen. But Ryotaro still feels responsible at the fact that, hey, it's my fault. I wasn't good enough. I lost. Plain and simple. There's no if or buts about it. He lost. And that hurt him. Because the loss didn't just affect him. The loss affected some other life. A life that could have been saved. And he can't forgive himself for that. And that's why he's training. And that's why he's doing everything he can to be able to do his part and fight. And the Imagines realize that. They realize that because he's relied so much on their power to help him win, for once, even with their power, he's still lost. So he feels like in order to prevent that situation from occurring again, he needs to play his part and fight not only for himself and the Imagines, but for everyone else that gets affected by all these other Imagines coming over, possessing other people, and just causing havoc. For not only the people in the past, but for the person's past as well. And they see that. They see that he still has the will to fight. He hasn't given up. He hasn't felt... I mean, I'm sure he's felt sorry for himself and he's felt guilty, but he hasn't let that completely defeat him. If anything, that makes him want to fight even more. And they acknowledge that. So they're like, hey, look, we're going to fade away. That's unavoidable. So you know what? How about, until that time comes, let's give him the power he needs in order to fight future Imagines and no longer will he ever lose again. That is so good and just very... It speaks so much volumes for the character Ryotaro that's finally stepping up, but at the same time, that speaks a lot for the Imagines. For, in a way, they're proud of him. They want to see him succeed. They want to see him fight. They want to see him take over what they left behind. In a way, him fighting keeps them alive. And them keeping him alive means, despite what may happen, whether they get separated or not, they will not be lost to time, because there is someone that will forever remember them. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that hits right in the soul. That hits right in the soul, man. I'm proud of Ryotaro, and I'm proud of these Imagines. This form doesn't just embodies Ryotaro's resolve, but it embodies all of their resolve. This is the symbolism in this form is not something so simple as like, oh, it looks epic. It's literally this or no. Yes, you can take it at face value if you want to, but if you just dig deeper into this, if you search further into what this form truly represents, it represents the growth of the character Ryotaro and his Imagines, and how far they're willing to go, and how much they're willing to accept, just so he can still fight, just so that, hey, look, man, we can't fight for you anymore. This is it. You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna be the one driving us this time. But hey, we're gonna send you something. We're gonna give you something to make sure, like, when you're fighting, you give that ass whooping. You give the greatest Hisatsu. But hey, everyone was like, dude, that name was trash. Train slash, everyone was like, that name is trash. That name is hot garbage. Hey, I like it, alright? I don't care what anyone says. I like it. I think it's cool. Let me know what you guys think. Did you like the name? Did you thought it was lame? And hey, if you were to come up with a better name, what would it be? What would it be for Ryotaro's finisher toward the end? Let me know in the comment section down below of this video. But whew, man, Ryotaro really stole the show toward the end. You start to really sense where the series was going, like toward the end. It was kind of toward the end, or at least in the beginning of episode 35. You really see the character has come a long way, and again, I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of all of them, honestly. And I will be dreading when they get separated. Hopefully something happens to where they don't become separated, but if they ultimately it does happen, I already know that's gonna hit me right in the feels. I already know it. I'm not gonna be ready for it, but hey, when it does happen, I will say this, and the story is said and done. Again, I'm gonna just say one thing. It was one hell of a train ride, and Oh man, I'm really not ready. I'm already feeling like we're getting closer to the end of Den O, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I don't want to say goodbye to Den O. The series is too amazing. I love this show. Yeah. Honestly, like, I always say that 01 is my favorite Kamen Rider series. It still is, by the way. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love Revice. Trust me, I love Revice a lot. But this series is either tied with Revice, or maybe I just like Den-O just a tad bit more than I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. It's just the character. I don't know. It's just something about the characters in Den-O are so refreshing, are so lifelike, real. Like, you can't help but fall in love with these characters, and you do, and you can kind of get that with Revice. But I feel like the character development is so much stronger. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it. Den-O is my second favorite series, hands down. You can argue with me all you want, but hey, my mind's not changing. That's just personally how I feel. But anyway, guys, that's it. Hashtag in the comment section down below. Liner form. Hashtag in the comment section liner form to let me know you saw this video from beginning to end. Anyway, guys, peace. I'm out.